My son almost got kidnapped walking to school, and I couldn't stop laughing. My son has never been late to anything in his entire life, not once in 8 years. He sets 3 alarms and still wakes up before all of them, gets to school 20 minutes early every day to review notes. He even once showed up with a 102-degree fever because being sick isn't an excuse for being unprepared. So when my phone rang at 8:47 a.m. and the school secretary said, "Your son wasn't in homeroom this morning," my heart stopped. What do you mean he wasn't there? He left the house at 7:30. He never checked in. We're calling to confirm he's absent today. I was already grabbing my keys. He's not absent. Something's wrong. I called his phone, straight to voicemail, called again. Nothing. I was pulling out of the driveway when my phone rang again. "Mrs. Miller, this is Principal Howard. Your son just arrived. He's here now." Relief flooded through me. "What? He's there?" "Yes, but there's been an incident. We need you to come in immediately. The police are here." My hands went numb. "The police? Just get here as soon as you can." I ran every red light. The school parking lot had 3 police cars. I sprinted inside and found Principal Howard waiting at the office door looking pale. "What happened?" "He reported an attempted abduction." The floor tilted. "What?" They brought me to the conference room. My son was sitting there with a blanket around his shoulders and 2 officers taking notes. He looked up when I walked in and his face crumpled. "Mom," I grabbed him. "Are you okay? Did someone hurt you?" One officer cleared his throat. "Your son says a man in a dark car followed him on his walk to school, called out to him, asked him to get in the car. When your son refused, the man got out and started approaching him. Your son ran. That's why he was late," Principal Howard said. "He came straight to the office to report it." My stomach dropped. Late. My son was late. The officer leaned forward, pen ready. "Can you describe the man?" My son nodded, staring at the table. His hands were clenched in his lap. He was old, had a beard, wearing sunglasses. "What kind of car?" "Black. Normal car. I didn't see the numbers on it." The officers exchanged looks. One wrote something down. "We're taking this extremely seriously. This kind of thing doesn't happen here." Oh God. They kept us there for an hour, going over every detail. What street, what time exactly, what the man said, what he was wearing. My son answered everything in this quiet, shaky voice, never looking up. Finally, they let us leave. I signed him out and we walked to the car without speaking. We were halfway home when he said, "Mom," his voice sounded wrong, "I need to tell you something." I pulled over into a parking lot and turned to face him. He couldn't look at me. His hands were shaking. There was no man. I stared at him. "What?" "There was no car, no guy, none of it." He looked up and his eyes were filled with tears. "I was late." "You were." "What?" "I was late. For the first time ever. I overslept and I woke up at 7:52 and I panicked and I couldn't find my history homework, and by the time I got to school it was 8:14 and I'd never been late before and I didn't know what to do." My mouth fell open. I walked up to the entrance and I froze. I thought about how it would go on my record and I panicked. He was crying now. Then I remembered that assembly, the one about stranger danger. So I went to the office and said someone tried to grab me. I thought they'd just excuse the tardy, but then they called the police and it got so big and I couldn't take it back. I sat there staring at my son who'd faked an attempted kidnapping because he'd been 14 minutes late for the first time in his life. Then I started laughing. I couldn't help it. The whole thing was so absurd, I just lost it. He looked at me in shock. "You're not mad?" "Oh, I'm furious," I said, wiping my eyes. "But you're not telling anyone the real reason." He looked up. "Really?" "Really, but you owe me. Big time." 3 weeks later, the school installed security cameras at every entrance and added a second resource officer. My son now attends what is probably the most secured middle school in the state, all because he was 14 minutes late.